Now let us see a few more questions in software engineering. First topic is types of software metrics. Software metrics. So which of the following is the task of project indicators? Help in assessment of status of ongoing project, or track potential risk, both A and B, or none of the above mentioned. The answer is C, because uh, project indicators, the task of project indicators is both help in assessment of status of ongoing project, first of all status, and then the tracking of potential risk. Next is which of the following does not affect the software quality and organizational performance? Market, product, technology, people. Who do not affect the software quality and organizational performance? The answer is clearly the market, because the product, technology, and people, they are. So market is a collection of competitors, stakeholders, users, each having different view on the product, so it does not affect the software quality. Next is the intent of project metrics is. What is the intent of project metrics? First is the minimization of development schedule for strategic purposes, assessing project quality on ongoing basis, and both A and C. The answer is clearly the D, both A and C, because project metric is a quantitative measure. See, the project metric is a quantitative measure of the degree to which a system, a component, or a process possesses an attribute. A project metric is a quantitative measure of the degree to which the system, component, or process possesses a given attribute, and this is the project metric. Which of the following is not a direct measure of software engineering processes? C. Which of the following is not a direct measure of IC processes? Efficiency, cost, effort applied, all of the mentioned. The answer is efficiency, because cost and effort, they, generally we use this function points, or we use LOC, line of codes, to compute the cost and the effort applied, while the efficiency is a measure, but it is an indirect measure. It is an indirect measure. Which of the following is an indirect measure of the product? Quality, complexity, reliability, and all of the above mentioned. The answer is D, because the quality, the complexity, and the reliability, all the mentioned options, these three, are not the direct measure. Direct measures are these cost, effort, person months, etc. While the quality, complexity, and reliability, they are all the indirect measures of a product. Next is in size-oriented metrics. Metrics are developed on the basis of, because this is size-oriented metrics. Can you answer this? Number of functions, number of user inputs, number of line of codes, or amount of memory usage? The answer is C, because this is number of lines of code, LOC, and more precisely KLOC. Therefore, in the size-oriented metrics are developed based on the number of line of code. Next is which of the following is not an information domain required to determine function point in FPA? Which of the following is not an information domain? Number of user input, number of user inquiries, number of external hardwares, and number of errors. So, the answer is number of errors, because function point FPA, function point analysis, this includes 5 domains. These are input, output, inquiries, interfaces, and logical files. Input, output, external interfaces, inquiries, and then the logical files. Number of errors are not there. That is, we choose this answer. Next is usability can be measured in terms of usability, intellectual skill to learn the system, time required to become moderately efficient in system usage, net increase in productivity. So the answer would be all of the mentioned, because the answer is self-explanatory as we read this. The usability means, first of all, it's easy to use. When it is easy to use, then the time required to learn it will be very less. And when you don't waste time on learning it, then the productivity will for sure increase. Next is a graphical technique for finding if changes and variations in metric data are meaningful is known as. Graphical technique for finding if these changes and variations in metrics data are meaningful is known as what? Can you answer this? This is a graphical method. So this is a control chart, because DRE has a formula, function point analysis has a formula, and control chart has no formula, but it is a graphical technique for finding if changes and variations in matrix data are meaningful. Next is DRE, or defects removal efficiency. DRE, it depends on what? Errors found before software delivery, defects found after delivery of user, or both E and D. This one varies with project. The answer is C, because errors, or DRE, is equal to E by E plus D. What is this E and D? E corresponds to the errors found before software delivery. D is the defects found after delivery of the software. So E by E plus D, this is DRE, that is the defects removal efficiency. Now we come to the next topic, that is the software testing techniques. This is part 1. So which of the following term describes testing? Finding broken code, evaluating deliverable to find errors, a stage of all projects. None of the mentioned, and the answer is B, evaluating deliverable to find errors. This is a simple, actually testing is done with an intent to find an error. So evaluating deliverables to find an error is the absolute answer. So software testing is the process of evaluation or evaluating a software item to detect differences between given input and the expected output. What is cyclomatic complexity? Cyclomatic complexity, very important question. Black box testing, white box testing, yellow box testing, green box testing. The answer is, it is cyclomatic. First I'll tell you, this comes under white box testing. Actually the question should be cyclomatic complexity comes under which testing? So the cyclomatic complexity measures the amount of decision logic in the program module. Amount of decision logic in the program module. And cyclomatic complexity gives the minimum number of paths that can generate all possible paths through the module. So this is the white box testing only, because in white box, and moreover, cyclomatic complexity telling us the number of or how complex the software is. It will tell us about the number of test cases also, right? How many test cases can be generated. Next is lower and upper limits are present in which chart? Lower and upper limits are present in which chart? Run chart, bar chart, control chart, or none of the above mentioned? The answer is run chart. Lower and upper limits are present in run chart. So a run chart is used to monitor the behavior of a variable over time for a process or system. Run chart monitors the behavior of variable over time for a process or a system, and run charts graphically displays the cycles, the trends, the shapes, or non-random patterns in behavior over the time. So it contains the lower and upper limits. Next is maintenance testing is performed using which methodology? Maintenance testing, retesting, sanity testing, breadth test, and depth test, and confirmation testing. The answer is C, breadth test and depth test. Okay. So maintenance testing is done on the already deployed software, when the software is already been given or installed or delivered. So the deployed software needs to be enhanced, changed, or migrated to other hardware. So the testing is done during this enhancement, change, or migration cycle is known as the maintenance testing. Next is white box techniques are also classified as white box testing are classified as design-based testing, structural testing, or error guessing technique. The answer is B. The structural testing is the testing of the structure of the system or the component, actual structure. So structure testing is often referred to as the white box or glass box or clear box testing, because the structural testing we are interested in what is happening inside the system or application, what is happening inside. Next is exhaustive testing. What is exhaustive testing? So exhaustive testing is always possible, practically possible, impractical but possible, and impracticable, and impossible. The answer is C, this one. This is impractical but possible. So exhaustive testing is impractical, that is why it is not done, or it cannot be done, but it is possible. So exhaustive testing is the testing where we execute single test case for multiple test data. We execute single test case for multiple test data It means we are using single test case for different product or module under manual testing. Okay. Next is, which of the following is or are a white box technique? Which of the following are white box technique? Statement testing, decision testing, condition coverage. So all of these, statement testing, decision testing, or condition coverage, all of them uses the white box technique only. What are the various testing levels? First is unit testing, then followed by integration testing, then system testing. So answer will be D. This is the order: unit, system, and integration testing. All of them are levels in the testing. The next is boundary value analysis belong to white box testing or black box testing. The answer is it belongs to the black box testing. Boundary value analysis is based on testing at the boundaries between partitions, and it checks the output with expected output. If this is a boundary, we check here and here, because most of the problem occurs at the boundary, like array out of bounds and the values which are not checked properly. This is the boundary value analysis. Actually, we first create the equivalence classes. Equivalence partition is done, and once this equivalence partition is done, then we choose the boundary values from this. Next is alpha testing. This is done at developer end or user end. The answer would be developer end. So alpha testing takes place at the developer end. Developers observe the users and they note problem. Alpha testing is testing of an application when development is about to complete. Minor design changes can still be made as a result of alpha testing. Then we come to software testing technique 2. The testing in which code is checked is which testing? Black, white, red box, green box. The answer is B. White box testing is a method of testing software that tests internal structures or working of an application as opposed to its functionality. The functionality checking is done in black box testing. White box is also known as we already did that, clear box testing, or we can say structural testing. Then testing done without planning and documentation is called as. Answer is ad hoc testing. Ad hoc testing is used, the term used for software testing performed without any planning or documentation. Without any planning or documentation. So the tests are intended to be run only once unless a defect is discovered. So ad hoc testing has no planning and documentation whatsoever. Third is acceptance testing, is also known as acceptance testing. Gray box, white box, alpha testing, or beta testing? The answer is D, beta testing. So the acceptance testing is a test conducted to determine if the requirements of a specification or a contract they are met and is done by the user. Next is, which of the following is non-functional testing? Which of the following is non-functional testing? Black box is a functional testing. Performance testing, unit testing, and none of the above. The answer is quite easy because it is a performance test. Performance testing, why it is non-functional testing? Because the performance testing is in general testing performed to determine how a system performs in the test of responsiveness and stability under a particular workload. For a workload, the responsiveness and the stability of the software is performance testing. Then beta testing is done at user end or developer end. The answer is the user's end, because alpha testing is done at developer end, and the test which the user does at its end is the beta test. In the beta testing, user actually evaluates the product and gives his feedback. Now the next question is SPICE. SPICE stands for what? Any of these? The answer is C. SPICE stands for Software Process Improvement and Capability Determination. Software Process Improvement and Capability. Actually, it is determination. Yes, correct. Unit testing is done by user, developer, customer. So unit testing is done by developers. Answer is B. Unit testing is what? It is a method by which individual units of source code, sets of one or more computer program modules together with their associated control data, usage procedure, and operating procedures are tested. determine if they are fit for use. Behavioral testing is, what is the behavioral testing? The answer is simply black box testing. If you talk about functional testing or you say behavioral testing, they are one and the same. So black box testing is a method of software testing that examines the functionality of an application without peering it into its going into detailed structure or working. Next, which of the following is black box testing? Which of the following is a black box testing? Basis path testing, body value analysis, code path analysis, none of the above. Black box testing, answer is B, because we indicated earlier that body value analysis, equivalence partitioning, they are done in the black box testing. So body value analysis is a software testing technique in which the tests are designed to include representative of boundary values. Which of the following is not used in measuring the size of the software? KLOC, function points, or size of module? The answer is C. KLOC and function points both can be used as size measurement for measuring the size of the software. So these were a few more questions in software engineering. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll be covering more shortly.